She stood frozen, clutching the crumpled $15 bill, when the gas station manager's furious voice shattered the silence. "You just cost me my job," he barked, eyes burning with anger. "How could you let her skip paying? Do you even know what that means?" Maria's heart pounded like a drum. She barely had time to react before the manager's hand slapped the termination letter onto the counter. "Pack your things. You're done." Tears welled in Maria's eyes, but she swallowed them. This wasn't just about a job. It was about the desperate mother in front of her, the woman with tired eyes and a trembling voice who had begged for just a little kindness. That $15 wasn't just money, it was a lifeline. The woman, clutching her child close, whispered, "Thank you," before disappearing into the cold night, leaving behind more questions than answers. Maria stood alone, the weight of what she'd done sinking in. Was kindness really a crime? Then, an hour later, the roar of a sleek engine broke the quiet. A Rolls-Royce pulled up in front of the gas station, its polished body gleaming under the streetlights. Out stepped a man in a tailored suit, eyes scanning the small crowd until they locked onto Maria. He approached calmly, but there was fire behind his gaze. "Are you Maria?" he asked. She nodded, heart racing. "I'm here to make things right," he said, but what could he possibly mean? And how was this stranger connected to the mother she helped just moments ago? Maria's world was about to be turned upside down. Cliffhanger. Who was the mysterious man? Why did he come? And how would Maria's life change forever? The Rolls-Royce's engine hummed softly in the background as Maria stared at the man standing before her. His sharp suit and calm demeanor seemed out of place among the flickering neon signs of the gas station. Yet there was something in his eyes, a mix of authority and urgency that made her heart skip. "Who are you?" Maria finally asked, her voice trembling. The man smiled faintly, pulling out a small card from his pocket. "My name's David Harper. I represent a family who wants to thank you. But first, I need to know everything that happened here tonight." Maria glanced back toward the night sky. The cold air bit at her skin, but the warmth from the inside of the station seemed far away now. Her mind raced back to the woman she had let skip the payment. The mother. Who was she? Why had she been so desperate? And how was this man involved? Taking a deep breath, Maria began to explain. "She came in about an hour ago," Maria said, her voice steadying. "A mother, maybe early 30s. She had a little boy with her, about 5 years old, I think. She asked if she could skip paying for gas just this once, said they'd run out of money and needed to get to the hospital." David's eyes narrowed. "Hospital? What hospital?" Maria shrugged, biting her lip. She didn't say which one, but she was scared and, "I don't know, I just couldn't say no." David nodded slowly. "And your manager, how did he find out?" Maria's face flushed with guilt. "Someone must have told him. I didn't mean to cause trouble. I just wanted to help." David took a step closer, lowering his voice. "This wasn't just a random act of kindness, Maria. The woman you helped, her name is Sarah. She's part of a family I've been watching for months. Her son is very sick, and right now they're in danger." Maria's breath caught. "Danger? What kind of danger?" Before David could answer, Maria's phone buzzed violently in her pocket. She pulled it out, an unknown number flashing. On the screen, without thinking, she answered. "Maria," a shaky voice whispered. "It was Sarah. Please, don't trust anyone at the gas station. They're looking for me. I'm scared." The line went dead. Maria's heart hammered in her chest. She looked up at David, panic rising. "What's going on? Who's looking? In for her? Why?" David's jaw tightened. "We're dealing with something bigger than you realize. Sarah's family has enemies, powerful enemies, and you just stepped into the middle of a storm." The danger revealed the next few minutes blurred into chaos. David pulled Maria into the Rolls-Royce, urging her to explain everything she knew about Sarah and the situation. As Maria recounted every detail, David's expression grew darker. "Sarah's son is battling a rare disease," he explained. "She's been trying to get to a specialist hospital for weeks, but she's been blocked at every turn. Someone wants to keep her from getting help." Maria swallowed hard. "Who? Why?" David's eyes flickered with something she couldn't place. "Fear, maybe." "That's what we're trying to find out. But it's more than just a medical. Oh, right. It's about money, power, and a secret that could destroy people." Maria's mind reeled. From a simple $15 skipped payment to a secret war she never imagined. Her life was changing fast. Back at the gas station. Meanwhile, back inside the gas station, the manager was fuming. He couldn't understand why Maria had risked everything for one customer, especially a stranger. "This job isn't about charity," he shouted at the few employees. "It's business. If word gets out, I'll lose this place." But whispers started spreading. The story of the fired worker and the mysterious mother who had skipped payment intrigued the customers and staff alike. Among them was Lisa, a quiet cashier who had watched everything unfold. She glanced at the clock nervously. Something didn't feel right. Unexpected ally David and Maria returned to the gas station a few minutes later, their minds racing with questions. "Lisa," David said, spotting the cashier, "do you know anything about Sarah? Have you seen her before?" Lisa hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Yeah, I think I've seen her around, but she never talked much, kept to herself." David's gaze hardened. "If she's here, it means she's in danger. We need to protect her." Lisa swallowed. "I want to help." For the first time since the night began, Maria felt a flicker of hope. Maybe they weren't alone in this after all. The first twist as the night deepened. A shadowy figure watched from a distance. Hidden behind a parked truck, a man spoke into a phone. "She helped her," the man said coldly. "Fire her, and make sure the message is clear." He paused, listening. "Yes, the Rolls-Royce showed up, but this isn't over." A slow smile crept across his lips. "Let the game begin." Cliffhanger Maria looked at David and Lisa, feeling the weight of the night pressing down on her. "What now?" she whispered. David's eyes were hard and steady. "Now, we fight." The night felt colder than ever as Maria, David, and Lisa huddled in the back office of the gas station. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting long shadows that danced with every nervous breath. Outside, the street was quiet, but the weight of unseen eyes pressed on them like a thick fog. Maria rubbed her hands together, trying to steady her trembling. "David, what exactly are we up against? I don't understand why Sarah and her son are in so much danger." David's gaze was hard, but his voice held urgency. "It's not just about Sarah's son being sick. It's about what her family knows. They're connected to a powerful corporation, one that profits by blocking her access to treatment." Lisa's eyes widened. "You mean someone's stopping her on purpose? For money?" David nodded grimly. "Yes. This isn't just about a hospital or a doctor. It's about secrets. And if those secrets come out, a lot of powerful people could lose everything." Maria's mind spun. "But why would they care? It's just one family." "Because," David said slowly, "this family holds evidence that could bring down an empire. And people with that much power don't stop at anything. A dangerous decision." The trio sat in tense silence, broken only by the occasional creak of the building settling. Maria's phone buzzed again. This time it was a text from an unknown number. "Stop helping Sarah or you'll regret it." Her hands shook as she showed the message to David and Lisa. David's face darkened. "They're watching you now, Maria," he said. "This isn't safe." Lisa bit her lip. "What do? We can't just leave Sarah and her son out there." David nodded. "We won't, but we have to be smart. Tonight, we need to find Sarah and get her somewhere safe. I know a place." Maria swallowed her fear. Where? David hesitated, then said, A friend's cabin outside town. No one knows about it. Lisa looked uncertain. Is it really safe? David's eyes met hers, steady and sure. It's the best we have. Finding Sarah, the three piled into David's car, the city lights blurring past as they sped toward the outskirts. Maria's thoughts raced back to the mother she'd seen. Earlier, her desperate eyes, the small boy clinging to her. What had driven her to this point? What horrors had she faced? David pulled up to a secluded cabin nestled among tall pines. The warm glow of a single porch light spilled onto the gravel. Driveway, stay quiet, David whispered. Sarah should be inside. Maria's heart pounded as they approached the door. David knocked softly. After a moment it opened just a crack, revealing Sarah's weary face. Maria? Sarah's voice was barely above a whisper. You came. Back, Maria stepped inside, the smell of wood smoke and faint medicine filling the air. The boy, pale but alert, peeked from behind his mother. Is he okay? Maria asked gently. Sarah nodded, tears welling. For now. But we don't have much time. Uncovering the truth. Inside the cabin, Sarah told her story. Her son had been diagnosed with a rare, life-threatening illness. She'd been trying to get him specialized treatment, but every step was blocked by a shadowy group connected to the hospital's board. They don't want us to find the truth, Sarah said, voice breaking. My husband worked for them. He discovered something terrible. Before he could expose it, he disappeared. Maria felt a chill. Disappeared? You think they took him? Sarah nodded grimly. Yes. And now they're after us. David exchanged a look with Maria and Lisa. This is bigger than we thought. Betrayal in the shadows back in town. The man watching from the truck wasn't alone. His phone buzzed again, and he answered with a sharp, yes. We have a problem, he said. One of our own has been talking. Maria's stomach twisted. Could someone close to her be the enemy? Unexpected visitor. That night, as Maria tried to sleep at the cabin, there was a soft knock at the door. She froze, heart pounding. David opened it cautiously. Standing there was a woman in her late 20s, eyes wide with fear. I'm Emma, she said breathlessly. I need to talk to you. It's about Sarah. Maria felt a flicker of hope and fear. Could this stranger be an ally or another? Piece in the dangerous puzzle. Cliffhanger Emma's voice dropped to a whisper. They're coming for all of us, but I know how to stop them. Maria's breath hitched. How? Emma's eyes burned with determination. There's a secret file, a file that will bring them down, but it's hidden, and getting it won't be easy. The cabin felt colder than ever, despite the small fire crackling in the hearth. Maria sat close to Sarah's son, who was quietly clutching a worn toy car. Outside, the night was thick with silence, but inside, the tension was electric. Emma, the stranger who had arrived unexpectedly, paced the room. Her eyes were sharp and restless, as if haunted by secrets too heavy to bear. Maria watched her carefully. Tell us everything, David said firmly. Who are you? How do you know about this file? Emma stopped and faced them, her voice low but steady. My father worked for the same corporation Sarah's husband did, she began. He left me this. She pulled out a small USB drive from her jacket pocket. This contains the secret files, the proof of everything. Lisa leaned forward, her face pale. Proof of what exactly? Emma took a deep breath. Corruption, bribery, even cover-ups of dangerous medical experiments. This company has been sacrificing lives for profit, including Sarah's family. Maria felt a chill run down her spine. The stakes were higher than she'd imagined. A race against time. David grabbed the USB drive carefully. We have to get this to the authorities, the right ones. But first, we need to make sure we're not followed. Maria's phone buzzed again. This time it was a text. Last chance to back off. The message was cold, threatening. Sarah clutched her son tightly. "They'll come here. We can't stay." David nodded. "We need a plan." Emma looked around. "I know a journalist, someone who's brave and trusted. If we can get this file to her, the truth will come out." Lisa bit her lip. "But what if they catch us before that?" David's eyes flashed. "Then we fight." Danger closes. In the night dragged on, every creak of the old cabin making Maria jump. She couldn't stop thinking about the gas station, manager, the shadowy men watching from the street, and the chilling messages. Suddenly, headlights appeared on the gravel driveway. A car slowed, and a group of men stepped out, their faces obscured by darkness. "Hide!" David hissed. Everyone scrambled into the basement, hearts pounding. From the small window, they could see the men search the cabin, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. Maria's breath hitched. "They're here for the file." Betrayal unmasked. As the men searched upstairs, Maria noticed a movement in the shadows. Lisa's phone buzzed silently, a message from an unknown number. "They know. They're coming inside." Lisa's eyes filled with tears. "I think someone betrayed us, someone close." David's jaw clenched. "We need to move, now. Escape." Plan Emma led them through a secret tunnel she'd discovered under the cabin, an old root cellar that opened into the dense woods. The cold night air bit at their faces as they ran through the trees, the sound of the men shouting behind them. Maria's legs burned with exhaustion, but she kept going, driven by fear and hope. "We have to split up," David said urgently. "Emma and I will go to find the journalist. Maria, you take Sarah and her son somewhere safe." Maria nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Be careful." A shocking twist as Emma and David disappeared into the darkness. Maria turned back to Sarah and her son. Suddenly, a familiar voice whispered from the shadows. "Looking for me?" Maria froze. From behind the trees stepped the gas station manager. "I'm sorry, Maria," he said quietly. "I had no choice." Cliffhanger Maria's heart shattered. The one she thought was the enemy was closer than she ever expected. "What now?" she whispered. The manager's face was hard. "I'm here to protect you, but we need to move. Fast." Maria's mind raced as the gas station manager Michael stepped closer, his face shadowed but determined. She had trusted him before, and yet now she wasn't sure what to believe. Was he truly an ally or just another piece in this dangerous game? "Why should I believe you?" Maria demanded, her voice trembling. "After everything that's happened?" Michael's eyes softened, but his tone remained urgent. "Because I'm the only one who can keep you alive right now. The people after Sarah's family don't stop. They're ruthless, and they have eyes everywhere." The truth revealed. Michael lowered his voice to a whisper. "I didn't just watch you skip that $15 payment at the gas station. I covered for you because I knew who you were helping." Maria's brow furrowed. "What do you mean?" "I was part of the corporation security," he admitted. "But when I found out what they were doing, I quit. I couldn't be part of their lies anymore." Maria's heart pounded. This was more than she had expected. Someone from inside the enemy camp was now on their side. A new plan. Michael quickly pulled out a map and spread it on the ground. "Emma and David are heading to meet a journalist in the city, but they need a distraction. Something big." Maria looked at him confused. "We need to hit the corporation where it hurts," Michael explained. "I know a man inside the company who hates what they're doing. He's willing to help." Sarah clutched her son, hope flickering in her eyes. "Can we trust him?" Michael nodded. "It's a risk, but it's our best chance." An unexpected. And the next day they met with Richard, a nervous man who worked in the corporation's IT department. His hands shook as he handed over encrypted files. "These contain evidence of illegal activities," he whispered. "Bribes, cover-ups, Everything, but we have to move fast before they erase it all. Maria felt a surge of adrenaline. This was the break they needed. Betrayal strikes again. Just as they prepared to leave, Lisa's phone buzzed with another message. "You're all fools if you think you can stop us." Suddenly the cabin was surrounded. Black SUVs screeched too. A halt outside. Michael grabbed Maria's arm. "We've been found." Fight or flight gunshots rang out. Chaos exploded around them as they scrambled for cover. Maria's heart pounded in her chest. She couldn't let Sarah and her son get hurt. Amid the chaos, Michael dragged Maria toward a hidden exit. "Go! I'll hold them off!" Maria hesitated, torn, but Michael was firm. "Go now, or we all die." Narrow escape. Maria, Sarah, and the boy slipped through the woods, hearts hammering. They could still hear shouts and gunfire behind them. After what felt like hours, they finally reached the journalist's safe house. Emma and David were already there, their faces grim but alive. The journalist Claire, was a sharp-eyed woman who wasted no time. She plugged in the USB drive and began scanning the files. "This is huge," she said. "If we publish this, it will change everything." Maria looked at Sarah, hope blooming. Maybe the nightmare was ending. Cliffhanger. But just as Claire prepared to send the files, her phone buzzed. A message appeared on the screen. "Stop now, or lose everything you love." Maria's stomach twisted. The battle wasn't over. It had only just begun. The tension in Claire's small apartment was suffocating. The message on her phone was a chilling reminder. "Stop now, or lose everything you love." Yet the files held the truth the world needed to see. Maria stood near the window, watching the city's lights flicker in the night. Behind her, Sarah's son slept peacefully, oblivious to the storm raging outside. This fragile peace was all Maria wanted to protect. The weight of choice. Claire looked up from the screen, eyes filled with resolve. "If we don't release this, nothing will change. The corporation will keep hiding behind lies, destroying lives." David nodded. "But if we publish, they'll come after us hard. We have to be ready." Michael, bruised but alive, entered quietly. "I've already warned. My contacts inside the company, some of them are willing to testify. The tide is turning." Maria felt a cautious hope stirring in her heart. After all they had endured, this might be the moment justice began. A final betrayal. Suddenly Lisa gasped. "Someone's here!" The door burst open. A tall man in a dark suit, face cold and unreadable. "Thank you for your efforts," he said smoothly. "But this ends tonight." Maria's breath caught. This was the corporation's lead enforcer, the man who had ordered the threats, the attacks. Claire stepped forward, fearless. "You won't silence us. Fight for truth or fierce." Struggle broke out. In the chaos, Claire managed to hit send. The files were transmitted to every major news outlet and social media platform. The enforcer snarled and lunged toward Maria, but Michael tackled him, buying precious seconds. Outside, sirens wailed. The authorities had been tipped off by Richard and other insiders. The police stormed in, arresting the enforcer and his accomplices. Justice and healing days later, the headlines screamed the truth. Massive corporate scandal exposed, lives saved, truth revealed. The corporation's leaders faced investigation, many arrested for their crimes. Maria watched Sarah embrace. Her son, tears of relief shining in their eyes. "It's finally over," Sarah whispered. Maria smiled, though the scars of the past remained. "No, it's just the beginning. For all of us." The lesson in the quiet aftermath. Maria reflected on the journey, the betrayal, the fear, the loss, and ultimately the hope. Sometimes it takes losing everything to find who you really are. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness, like letting a struggling mother skip a $15 payment, can ignite a revolution. And sometimes, when darkness feels endless, a spark of courage can light the way. Epilogue. Months later, Maria returned to the gas station, now under new management. She smiled at the familiar counter, memories flooding back, but this time she felt stronger, empowered, ready for whatever life would throw next, because the truth, once unleashed, can never be hidden again. The end.